Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome back. Today we're going to play a little NHL 3s, and we are going to be talking about the NHL trade deadline preview of the New York Rangers. We are the New York Rangers. We are playing just against a computer. Just wanted to have a little gameplay in the background. This actually is a live commentary, so players we have out there is Adam McQuaid, Matt Zuccarello, and Kevin Hayes. The reason I have them out is because obviously why not Zibanejad, why not? There's a lot better players than them, or Zuccarello will probably be. But the reason I have them out here is because they're really the main trade pieces that will probably go in the deadline. We'll start. I'm going to talk about each one, and we'll start with Adam McQuaid. Adam McQuaid, this season's playing pretty well. Physical, big defenseman who I think a lot of playoff teams would love to have him as a seventh or maybe 7th D or top 6 D, maybe like a third or second pairing defenseman. He's playing, I think, first pairing with Brady Shea right now, but that's because our defensemen are really not the best. So we're going to get into what possibly we could get for him and what teams can maybe use him. That's what we're going to do for each player. Oh, look at that. Nice goal there. So with Adam McQuaid, I think he's gotten 1 year, about like 1 year left. All three of these guys are unrestricted free agents. I'm pretty sure McQuaid is making around $2 million, $3 million maybe. I think 3.2 maybe. So what are you getting out of Adam McQuaid? You're getting a big physical defenseman who you could slot in basically like Nick Holden, but Nick Holden wasn't as physical as him. As we trade Nick Holden for a 3rd round pick and Rob O'Gara. Now with Adam McQuaid, what can you get for him? I think you can get the same exact thing. Maybe a 2nd round pick, a 2nd or 3rd, and maybe a prospect from a team. Just by giving up, I think they gave up for Adam McQuaid, Steven Kampfer, a 4th and a conditional 7th, which I think Boston will be getting that 7th round pick back, because it said if McQuaid played like 25 games with the Rangers, they would get that pick back. Sorry, I don't know why my gameplay is like so laggy. I'm just getting my ass kicked right now because I'm trying to focus on talking. So with Adam McQuaid, there's not. Last night when the Rangers played the Devils, I think Sam Rosen said there was a lot of scouts intrigued or interested in Adam McQuaid. Obviously we don't know who they are, because if we did, then maybe we would have a better idea of who we could possibly get. For like guys like Zuccarello and Hayes, we kind of have a little bit of idea who is scouting them. So, Adam McQuaid might be a little bit harder to tell what we would get, because we really don't know who's scouting him, like I said before. But like I said, I think with Adam McQuaid, he's not really. I don't think he's in the Rangers' long-term plans. Rangers have, of course, they had Ryan Lindgren called up. They have Hayek. They have Keandre Miller, who'll probably come in another 2 years, probably be here. Or he'll stay his whole Wisconsin career, or he'll stay the whole 3 years. So I don't think Adam McQuaid, it's nice to have a big physical defenseman, but trading him away for like another prospect and a better pick than what you gave up for him, just like trading Nick Holden the same way, really isn't the worst, because obviously we got like a guy like Freddie Claesson to replace Nick Holden. So like I said, for Adam McQuaid, maybe a team. Oh my God, I'm just trying to focus on talking. I keep getting scored on. Maybe a team like Tampa, Pittsburgh, maybe Toronto. I know they just got Jake Muzzin, but you never know if they get an injury. Oh my God, I'm not even playing on Superstar. I'm playing on All-Star because maybe gave me a better challenge, but they are kicking the shit out of me. Could use a guy like Adam McQuaid, probably like a 2nd or 3rd round pick and a mid-tier prospect for Adam McQuaid. That's what we could possibly get. Now we'll move on to Matt Zuccarello. Matt Zuccarello is an expiring deal of $4.5 million, I'm pretty sure, so pretty cheap for him. And there's been a lot of talk saying that the Rangers are seeking a 2nd round pick and a prospect, and then they're trying to get the return like they got for Michael Grabner, which we traded him to the New Jersey Devils for a 2nd round pick and Igor Rykov. But we traded Rick Nash, a 4-year-old Rick Nash expiring deal for a first round pick, and Ryan Lint, like a good prospect and another solid roster player, and then we had to take on some cap. So we just forget about the cap in with Matt Bolesky. Now we're only I think paying him 1.9 compared to 3.8. But we still got a first round pick, Ryan Lindgren. I don't know why my game's lagging. I was just installing a game. I thought maybe that was it, but I'm sorry about the lag. I'm playing offline. I don't know what the hell. I think it's just Xbox in general. I just tried to play 2K, and 2K just wasn't working. But Xbox yesterday was just broken. So with that, forgetting Rick Nash, Zuccarello's 30, and I feel like if you put him on a line with I'm going to talk about some teams that were scouting him. We'll first start with the Edmonton Oilers, but now I don't think they're interested. They're not going to go after him anymore just because of Shirley is fired. But if you put him with McDavid, Zuccarello will be a beast. He'll be feeding McDavid. McDavid will be feeding him. There was talks last year of Zuccarello possibly to the Stars. If you put him on a line with Sagan and Ben, he would be a beast. Zuccarello was getting 50, 60 points with a Ranger team, with not players of that caliber. So it's he's got to be worth a first round pick, and people say he's not. But I just saw recently this morning that someone tweeted out, the way Zuccarello's been playing, the Rangers could possibly get a first round pick for him, which I think they can. He's been playing well. He played well in the game yesterday against the Devils, where Zibanejad had a hat trick. He was just awesome. He was putting passes. I think he had 2 assists. So now with him, since Edmonton's not really a team of interest, there was a team, actually my second favorite team in the NHL, the Calgary Flames. They recently him and Zuccarello and the Flames have been linked. I saw in a tweet. And the Flames have a lot of good prospects. Actually, I'm not even so sure what their prospects are, but they suppose they have a lot of good prospects. And the Flames could make the Stanley Cup. So giving up that first round pick, it'll be one of the last picks in the draft. So for Zuccarello, I'm gonna kind of go on a limb of a trade I would like, and maybe a realistic. But I'm not so sure of the Flames prospect pool. I might have to look more into it. All I know is Dylan Dubé. I don't really know much about the Flames. I have a general idea of certain teams' prospects, but the Flames, being my second favorite team, I don't even know much of their prospects. So I think a good trade for Zuccarello, we'll just say, because I don't really know much of the Flames prospects except for Dylan Dubé. Maybe or this is what I would like: a first round pick. Maybe 1 or 2 prospects, a good prospect, then a mid tier prospect. Or maybe another trade would be a second round pick and then a mid tier and 2 mid tier prospects, something like that for Zuccarello. If the Rangers even look to trade him, because they didn't trade him at the trade last year before the draft and after the draft, because I just don't think they got anything for him. But guys like Zuccarello and Hayes, they will re-sign with the Rangers. I think they don't want to go. They want to stay. So if you don't trade Zuccarello, obviously, it'll be kind of bad because he's at his highest peak, right? Not his highest peak, but he's playing very well right now. Obviously, he'll re-sign, so it's not it's going to be a John Tavares, where it's kind of will he re-sign or not? Because Zuccarello will definitely re-sign. Oh, no. So, of course, trade him. You'll get, I think, a good amount. Obviously, if you trade him right now, since he's playing so well, you'll get quite possibly a first and a couple prospects, or a second and a couple prospects, maybe even a solid roster player to go with it. So, Zuccarello, what a play by Hayes. So, Zuccarello, it'd suck to see him go, but I think it probably will happen. But that's what I think we could get for Zuccarello, and a team like the Flames, who have been linked to him, I think will be a team. And I think they had interest in him during the summer, during the draft and everything. So I think as of right now, maybe the Flames will look like a good suitor for him. Obviously, you put him on a line with Gaudreau and Monahan, who else they got? Kachuk and maybe Bennett. The Flames have a good team, so put him on a team like that, I think he will flourish, and I think that he will be awesome for them to go for a cup run. And we'll talk about, obviously you saw Vladislav Nemestikov on the bench. We'll talk about him a little bit, but we're just talking about the three main guys. So now we'll go to Kevin Hayes, who a lot of people are saying we should hang on to him, trade him away, because this is what I like about Hayes. Hayes is awesome. He's big. He really developed this year. He's going crazy. He was good last year at 25 goals, but this year he's just killing it. I think he's got like 35 points in 48 games. Leads are one of the top in Rangers in the assists. I'm trying to think because I don't have things pulled up in front of me. But the reason I picked Colorado is because Kevin Hayes has been, I think, heavily scouted by Colorado, and the Rangers have been scouting Colorado's AHL and NHL affiliates. So we could talk about what the Rangers could get for Kevin Hayes. And I think it could be a lot. I think they could easily get Colorado's first round pick, not the Senators, Colorado's first round pick. So probably be in the early or late 20s, depends how Colorado does. But if they have Kevin Hayes in their second line, that would be crazy. Oh, what a tip-in by Hayes. That would be nuts. Their team would be, it would be crazy. So we'll talk about Colorado just because they've been heavily, it seems like the Rangers have heavily been scouting their teams. Prospects I would like in return. I mean, I thought since they were scouting the NHL affiliate and the AHL affiliate, they were scouting guys like Sam Girard, Martin Kaut, and Tyson Jost. And, Sam Girard I think is a good puck-moving defenseman. Martin Kaut is I think he was good in the World Juniors. He's a good two-way. Yeah, after this game, we'll restart and we'll continue talking. Oh, this Hayes right here. Martin Kaut's a solid two-way player. Maybe could possibly be like a Elias Anderson type. He seems like he can make plays and also on the defense and offensive end for Czech Republic. So, and then for Tyson Jost, I think he's struggling a bit, but he's got tremendous upside to be a good, maybe definitely a top six forward, definitely a top six center, even like a number 2 or number 1 center. It's all about the development. As we score the game-winning goal there, we're just gonna jump right into another one. So with Tyson Jost, I haven't really watched much of these guys play, but Tyson Jost I think is like an offensive-minded center, and he was drafted number 10 overall. But there was another prospect the Avalanche got, Shane Bowers, who they got from Ottawa in the Duchesne trade, I'm pretty sure. And, obviously I've read some rumors that he's been linked to the Rangers just because Quinn coached him. And so, I haven't watched much of him, but I think he's a good two-way player. But prospects like that, I think we get for Hayes. Obviously, a awesome trade would be maybe Tyson Jost, a first-round pick, and maybe Shane Bowers. Obviously, that's a lot. But, that would be the one, a sick trade for him. Other than that, obviously there's been reports of Tyson Barrie quite possibly coming, getting traded in that. But, Tyson Barrie, he doesn't really fit the Rangers rebuild. But if the Rangers want to get Tyson Barrie, maybe it would be Tyson Barrie a prospect and a first, maybe. But, for Tyson Barrie, I think he's a better Shattenkirk. Plus, he's a little bit younger, and I think we're not paying. And I think he's only getting paid $4 million, where Kevin Shattenkirk's getting paid $6 million. So if we get Tyson Barrie, I would say we have to trade away Shattenkirk to quite possibly might have to retain some cap, and I think Shattenkirk could get traded too. I don't know if many teams are. I think the Rangers. There was a report that the Rangers would listen to offer calls of him, and they should, because Shattenkirk, he obviously they're in a rebuild right now. I guess they thought when they signed him they would be contending that first year, which I thought too, because they just came off a second round defeat of the Ottawa Senators. Probably they should have won that series, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Quite possibly could have made the Stanley Cup if they got lucky and beat the Penguins. So with Shattenkirk getting paid a lot for the next couple of years, I think maybe the Rangers, and if the Rangers trade him, they would have to retain some cap. It's just like with Drake Nash. But with Shattenkirk, you could maybe get like a second and a couple prospects. I don't think he's worth a first. But with Kevin Hayes, if we could get really I think maybe 2 solid prospects and a first would be awesome. Other teams, I think the Jets were interested. But it seems like with all 3 of these players, they could have... I think this is what I kind of turned down. If they got a first-round pick for Hayes, say Colorado's first-round pick, and say Zuccarello draws a prospect and Calgary's first-round pick, and then Tampa wins the Stanley Cup, the Rangers will have 4 first-round picks. They'll have their own, which will be top 10 probably. Quite possibly number 1. Hopefully we get Jack Hughes or Kaku. Maybe like number 20-ish or 20-ish from Avalanche. I think the Avalanche are in a tight playoff race. So they could... Yeah, I think they're like in wild card spot number 2, but their whole division's like close. So like they could quite possibly not make the playoffs, which will give us like a 16th pick. It'll give us another lottery pick. But sorry about the lag. I have no idea why it's lagging. Like I thought I was installing a game, and I thought maybe that was the reason. But that only happens when I play online. But now it's just like lagging and offline. So we'll just continue on the hockey talk because I think I'm almost done here. Just lost my train of thought. Yeah, and then Calgary's pick, I think they'll probably make it to at least the Eastern. Oh my God, the Western Conference Finals. That will probably be like 28th, late 20s, and then if Tampa wins the Cup, they'll be the last pick. So the Rangers could quite possibly have 4 first-round picks. If not, 3 first-round picks. They have at least 2 second-round picks, with the conditions of the Tampa pick from the McDonough trade being if they win the Stanley Cup this year, it turns into their first. So right now the Rangers hold a first-round pick, 2 seconds, and I think a third. Yeah, a third. I don't think they hold a 4th. So, I tried to do the glitch deke. So obviously right now, and the Rangers have an awesome prospect pool. I'm gonna do a few more of these hockey talks with the Rangers, and even when other like trades go down at the trade deadline, I'll have a hockey talk because I kind of wanted to do these because I think I have a good sense of like what's going on. I'm always looking at rumors and whatnot. And Derek Brassard actually just got traded, but that trade is not really that important, I guess. Could have talked about the Muzzin trade, but obviously I would say it's a pretty good trade because I would say it's a good trade, but with all 3 of these guys getting traded, we could quite possibly bring in 5 or 6 prospects, another 2 more first-round picks, and then a second or third-round pick for McQuaid, and even a guy like Vladislav Nemestikov. I saw there's been teams have been interested in Jesper Fast, and I love Jesper Fast. He's my favorite player. I would hate to see him traded, but I think he would get traded for like a second and a prospect or a third and a prospect, just because he does a little bit of everything, but he's not like a flashy goal scorer, but he still gets the job done any situation he's in. That's why I could see a lot of teams interested in him instead of like say maybe Zuccarello, because they probably have a guy like Zuccarello. Like I'm gonna take a team like maybe Pittsburgh, for example. You have like Kessel, Zuccarello with like on Pittsburgh would be awesome. I think it would be great for them. But like you maybe want like that solid 2-way player who will do everything: power play, penalty kill, physicality, makes plays. And Jesper Fast, he was good in the playoffs last time the Rangers ran it against Montreal. I think he had a few. Ottawa, he was good too. So guys like Zuccarello, Hayes, Fast, McQuaid, they've all had playoff experience. I think McQuaid is a Stanley Cup winner. And obviously Hayes and Zook. I don't think Hayes was on the team yet. Or he might have been. No, I don't think he was. But obviously Hayes and Zook were at the Eastern Conference Finals. Zook was in the Stanley Cup Finals. I think Hayes was the next year that the Rangers won the President's Trophy. I think that was Hayes' rookie year. So, and obviously and with Nemestikov and Fost, maybe if they get traded, they have playoff experience too. I think Nemestikov was on the Tampa Bay team when they beat the Rangers. But but I would say with just these three guys we're playing with right now, a lot of picks and a lot of prospects, and quite possibly 4 first-round picks for the Rangers this upcoming draft. If they could, which I think they could get a first-round pick for Hayes. And if Tampa Bay wins the Cup, which I'm going to be pulling for them just because I would like that extra first-round pick, even though it's going to be kind of like a second-round pick. Just because of, it's going to be like the last pick. But that's going to be it for this episode of Hockey Talk. I don't really know. I'll do, NHL 3s, shootouts maybe. But I'm sorry about the lag. I have no idea why it was lagging. I just think, like, Xbox yesterday was just like it, or Wednesday maybe? It might have been, no, it was Wednesday. Like, it was just black. So, like, I don't know if it's just Xbox, because I'm not even playing online, I'm playing offline, and it's, like, lagging, so I don't know what's going on. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any hopes or preferences that I hope the Rangers could get, if you have any good Calgary Flame prospects, if anybody's a Flames fan, because I like the Flames, but I'm not like a diehard, I don't like follow them as much as I do the Rangers, because the Rangers I'm diehard. Give me a few ideas of what prospects we get, because I kind of talked well about, the Avalanche, but all I know is I'll research some of the Flames prospects, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next